wetland and river species take hold again. So yeah, that's, I think, ultimately where we'd love to be.
What would that actually do to the river itself, like
yes,
rejuvenation?
So a massive problem is the channeling of the river. So when it becomes a single channel, and unfortunately, in the past, the general consensus is when it's winter time, let's clear the river out, let's make it straight, and let's get that water out of here as quick as possible. And unfortunately, what that does is it erodes the river down, and it becomes a much deeper gully sort of system instead of a wider network. So yeah, slowing water down in a river is really important, so that you don't have that type of erosion. And so essentially what happened in Hout Bay was through various human interventions, the river became channelized into a single channel, and the erosion just accelerated right up the valley. So in the late 90s, I think it was, that the weir was built up there. And if that weir hadn't been built, that whole river channel would have just gone straight up into the nature reserve. So we've got to be very thankful for that weir. And slowing water down is a really important part, and Palmiet can play a big role in that. The peat that eventually forms over thousands of years actually acts like a natural sponge. So when you have floodwaters come into a natural Palmiet environment, is the water gets absorbed, that floodwater gets absorbed first. But once the Palmiet goes and the peat beds go, is the water just flows faster and faster and erodes more and more. And unfortunately, it's a little bit of it reaches a tipping point. And I think the onrus recently in this last winter, that big flood that we had, the devastation that happened in the onrus area was just massive. There were little nicks in the peat beds and the Palmiet, and when the big flood came, it just opened up all those nicks, and massive chunks of Palmiet and peat that is thousands of years just got washed down into the ocean. And it's done. It is, you just don't repair that. You can't repair it. So we really have to protect our wetlands. We have to protect our peat beds, and Palmiet plays a massive role in protecting those peat beds. Yeah.
But do you think that this will have any immediate effect on the quality of the water in the river in this year or in the following years?
I think it will play a role in the long term. But there's just so many factors in the Hout Bay Valley that are playing a role with the pollution of the water, and it certainly will play a role, but it's only one piece of a massive puzzle, and it does naturally act as a filter. But as I said, there's a much bigger picture that needs to be first corrected with the way we are allowing our runoffs, whether it's sewage, insecticides, pesticides, just even physical dumping of bricks and rubble and all kinds of things into the river. And we have to solve all those issues first before we can really start. It's not going to stop the pollution. The pollution has to stop at source first. It'll play a role in cleaning the river for sure. But yeah.
And where else could people get more information and perhaps become more involved?
I think, yeah, I mean, I got involved because I was shocked at the amount of sewage that I saw flowing onto the streets, and got in contact with Jackie from Friends of the River of Hout Bay. It's a fantastic organization. As I said, Jackie's amazingly instrumental in drawing people's specialities and their skills in, and putting them to use in a collaborative way. So yeah, join Friends of the Rivers of Hout Bay. Support Love in the Bowl. I think it's a fantastic initiative they've got going. And yeah, I think don't be overawed by the magnitude of what needs to be done. Just do something that you love doing, and come and just give a little bit of your time and skill, and it all adds up. So just do what you can. So cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
Lekker. Thanks, guys.